YouTube family, my junk family, juntrepreneurs, entrepreneurs. What's going on? What up, though? It's Mr. AMG. Today I'm talking about the importance of having a terms and agreement contract. Very, very important. Grab your oven mitts because this right here, man, is hot. It's fresh out the oven. All right, it's fresh out the oven. And I don't want you to get burnt. I want you to handle this information with care. All right? Before I do that, do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. It helps all of the videos I put out get found on YouTube. It's valuable information, so you're definitely going to take away something if you're a newcomer, and definitely if you're somebody who probably been doing this forever, because I'm a firm believer that we are never too old to learn something new. All right, never. So let's get into it. Terms and agreement, very important. Here's why. Had a customer not too long ago contact AMG Junk Removal and Dumpster Rental, right? Say they only need a 10-yard container. Explain, we only have 15s. We find that most people who say they need a 10 end up utilizing the whole 15. They say, okay, let's go ahead and do it. Boom, get them on the schedule, get the container over there. Now, here where the tricky part come into play at. Get over there, one of the workers who see the container that we dropped off, or we were about to drop off, all right, we had just got it in the driveway, shows a picture of a roll-off container, a 15-yard roll-off container, okay? That was what he was expecting. He wasn't the one who placed the order, for the 15 cubic yard non-dumpster trailer. He didn't place the order for it. He was under the impression that that's what the person who paid for the container was getting. He was not in a good mood about it, got in his vehicle, he left. Spoke to the customer. The customer said they were about to arrive. I say, cool, I won't unhitch it until you get there. Customer gets there, and the eye test. The eye test is always something. I'm gonna tell y'all something about having these dumpster trailers on wheels and these non-dump trailers, whether they high sides with metal or high sides with wood. Depending on where you live, they don't always pass the eye test. Where I live, a lot of people have, 95% of the people have roll-off containers. 95%, that's doing dumpster rental here. They're the ones who have the roll-off containers. People who doing junk removal and clean outs got the box trucks and the landscape trailers that they probably built up with wood on the side, the utility trailers built up with wood, some not built up with wood, doing clean outs and junk removal. But now they trying to merge over to dumpster rental. So for some customers, they don't pass the eye test. For a lot of them, they do. And they're glad because they don't have any damage done in their driveways. We can maneuver these in tight areas and things where roll-offs can't, get into play at. So, customer, I gets there, I see things, driveway, porch, it's a 2-family house, didn't even look upstairs. Customer says, yeah, I think we can make this work. And I say, I think you can make it work too, because it's really about how you can pack. If you're a pack rat, you can get this done. You got some bulky stuff, couches, some things like that, but it's really pretty much all, it's like Tetris. I like to tell customers, when you pack one of these containers, if you treat it like Tetris, you can get a nice snug fit. But if you just throw things in there, you're gonna run out of space really, really quick. And that's what a lot of people do. They're used to just chucking things away and not thinking about things because ultimately it's trash. Now, moving companies, I worked for a moving company, and it's a side note, I worked for a moving company a long time ago. So I already know like the best way to pack things. I can pretty much see things and see how something should go. But when you're moving someone, you're moving things that they feel are of value. So they're gonna be more cautious about how you put things and getting, adequate space. And moving companies wanna do the same thing. So I like to tell customers that right there, because when it's just trash, don't think of it as just trash, because you're trying to get the most bang for your buck with this container. Because I don't wanna bring you another container and take your money. That's not my goal ultimately, to sell you a container knowing that you need, let's just say, a 30, and I'm gonna sell you a 15 with hopes of stuffing everything in it, knowing you're gonna need one more. I'm in the business of selling you what you need. And if you feel you need more, let's go for it. Okay, that's the business I'm in right here. That's the business we in at AMG Junk Removal and Dumpster Rental. So back on track now. Customer says, cool, we can go ahead, we'll get it done, no problem. Drop it off, leave. Later on that day, get a phone call. Yeah, we can't do nothing with this right here. Cool. Do you want me to come get it? Have you put anything in it? Nope, we ain't put nothing in it. And yeah, you can come get it. All right. Well, there's going to be a quote unquote percentage that is non-refundable. And the conversation was going a little bit south. I could hear it in the customer voice. It's my duty to provide great customer service, excellent customer service, the best customer service I can provide. So I'm going to reel it back up north. All right. I'm gonna reel it back up north. It's going south. I'm gonna reel it back up north. All right. So customer said, well, I might as well keep it because I'm going to lose this X amount of money. And if I'd have knew this, I'd have never done this. I proceeded to explain to the customer that when they first called, they specifically stated they wanted a 10. That's all they needed. I offered something a little bit bigger. And they wasn't hearing it at that time. They wasn't hearing it. And they told me they had stuff on the second porch upstairs. Now, when I got there, I seen a lot of stuff, but again, hey, it's their world, it's not my world. Okay, so now we talking about stuff upstairs. So ultimately, in my mind, whoever gave them the size container that they need were wrong in the very, very beginning. They were wrong. Okay, so, but it's not my job to make them feel bad or feel, and it shouldn't be yours neither. Don't make a customer feel bad because you arrived with a container that's not what they thought it was or whatever it may be. Just look for the best way to handle the situation. So I ended up, the phone call we hung up, and then I thought about it, and I'm not at fault for this here. Okay, so I'm not at fault for this here, but this is what we do over here. I took it upon myself to give the customer a call back and offer a suggestion to help them out, just for the whole mishaps. Okay, now keep this in mind. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that, but we did that, and everything worked out. Everything worked out. The customer at the end of the day kept the container, was able to put a sufficient amount of stuff in there, fill it up. A lot of stuff was able to get set out on the lawn, and I'm not sure what they did about the other things. They might not call us back, and I'm okay with that because at the end of the day, we did our part to help that customer the best way possible. Now, getting to where the terms and agreement contract is very important. It's very important because in one of our clauses, we have a non-refundable clause for certain things that may occur that has nothing to do with AMG Junk Removal and Dumpster Rental. Okay, we have that in place because see, if we didn't have that in place, then we basically would be almost held just as accountable for delivering a container to that customer that wasn't the right size. Even though that they didn't say that, we would almost be held accountable, and they would feel some type of way if we were to tell them, well, now there's a portion of the price that's non-refundable for us in our time coming out and doing what we did. See, if we didn't have that in play, we wouldn't have any grounds to stand on because it's all there in the clause. It's all there in the terms and agreement clause. Okay. And a lot of people don't read things. I'm guilty of not reading things and just trusting people do the right things. But sometimes this is where you and your customer has to read things. It's not for us to make them read things, but it's there to protect us. We're entrepreneurs, we're small businesses, we're trying to grow our businesses. I'm not too sure how a lot of other companies do it, but over here, this is a great way for us to make sure we have everything in play where, hey, we can still try to take care of you, at the same time. But this is how it is right here, because we have this in our terms and agreements, so we can avoid going to court trying to get people for, let's just say, added interest for certain things. We not in the business of that over here. To be honest, I'm very thankful we don't get those kind of customers that are irate, that want to talk to us any type of way, that want to not use our service or put a bad name on us, that want to destroy our property. We haven't faced that over here. Not saying we won't, but I'm just very, very thankful and grateful we haven't, because we don't put out that type of energy and that type of vibe where we want something extra. Some people want to take people to court. Some people will put a lot of clauses and a lot of things together, hoping somebody slip up so they have a reason to get a little bit more out of them. That's not us. Right now, I'm dealing with a repeat contractor who uses the load and go service from us, and he dealing with a customer right now that purchased a house, and he did all the work, demo work, all of this other stuff, and $18,000 right now they're disputing on their credit card. But he got all of the paperwork and the pictures, and he gonna tack on some more for the games that people playing. So people play games out here. Having a terms and agreement contract is just one way to protect yourself. It's a peace of mind. It's insurance. It's just to make sure that you're doing your thing like you should be doing it. See, this is what separates, real business people from people who are here just getting to the money, because some people who are just getting to the money don't have paperwork in play. And you want to make sure you got real paperwork in play, not just some stuff you just thought of and you just put out there. You want to actually have some nice, legitimate, legal representation of your terms and agreements to what type of service you're providing right there. Trust me, it'll cover you in the long haul, because if you get someone who wants to play, let's just say, certain types of games with you, then you'll have that paperwork there. If you have to go to court, it's all there. The customer signed it. It's a peace of mind right there. So that's the importance of having a terms and agreement contract. If you don't got one, looking to get in one, search around, make sure it's one that's suitable for the service you're providing, and protect yourself, because you're in the business to be profitable. You're not in the favor business. You're not in the business of always accommodating people because they didn't know what they needed. Now, before I let y'all go, if I would have provided if I would have sold them on, let's just say, customer calls and wants a 20, I tell them, hey, they can get everything into this 15 and they can't, then that's my fault. Now, if a customer calls and says, hey, we need this, and I try to sell them something a little bit bigger just to help them out, most people go with that, because again, when you go to the deli, do you prefer a little over or a little under? If you're a little cheap, you want a little under. All right, if you ain't really worried about it, a little over, because that extra 2 or 3 slices of deli meat, all right, might have made that sandwich a little bit more beefier, a little bit more fulfilling. So I'm an overs guy. I'm an overs to unders guy. So I'm not in the market of underselling someone, because if they can't get it done, then that's just like they really looking like, man, you sold us something when we could have went bigger. I'm gonna offer and tell you first what we have and what I believe you should go with. At the end of the day, it's they call. They gotta live with that decision. We got the paperwork in motion just in case we have to clarify some things. And for the most part, we haven't had to do so where it's got out of hand. It's been all good. And I'll eat a couple dollars. We'll eat a couple dollars to make the customer happy. We won't always do this, but we can do that. We can do that. So definitely make sure you got your terms and agreement together. If it's something you want me to talk about, drop a comment If you appreciate the content, hey, give me that fist up emoji. Give me that one like this, you know, so we can knuckle up and pound that. Drop a 100. You feel me? I appreciate all that. I'm going to be back with another video soon. Check y'all out later. Peace.